No problem, Caden replied. A thought ran in his mind. This is Edgar's order, so any blame would fall on him if things went wrong. The next morning, there was a lot of activity in front of the Murray residence. Guests were coming and going to celebrate Christopher's birthday. He had retired from the public eye, but was still highly respected. Christopher had always kept to himself. He invited only a small group of friends and relatives to his birthday party. However, some unexpected guests had shown up. At this moment, a black sedan pulled up in front of the mansion. The door opened, and Dustin stepped out, holding a gift. He was accompanied by Cornelius. Sir Reese, you attacked Jaden last night, and now you're here for General Murray's birthday. Aren't you afraid the Murray family will turn against you? Cornelius asked. He could see that the security inside the residence was tight. It would be hard to leave once they went in. General Murray is reasonable. Right and wrong should be clear to him, Dustin replied. Let's hope so, Cornelius said, looking grim. Still, he knew they had to be cautious. After all, Christopher might favor his grandson and disregard justice. Let's go in, Dustin said, handing over the invitation and walking into the Murray residence. The Murray residence had only a few guests, but they were all VIPs government officials, wealthy city elites, and regional leaders. It seemed like a regular banquet, but it was a gathering of the elite in the Balerno. As Dustin entered the banquet hall, he saw familiar faces as Sheila, Vivian, and Evan, among others. They had been chatting and laughing, but upon seeing Dustin, they froze. Why are you here? Sheila was stunned. Since their fallout last night, she had been upset and couldn't sleep. Seeing Dustin now left her speechless. Reese, you've got some nerve coming here. Vivian was angry. Once you enter this gate, there's no turning back. There's no escape from hell. Today, no one can save you. Evan grinned maliciously. They were at the famous Murray residence, a heavily guarded place. Dustin had willingly walked into danger, like a moth drawn to a flame. I've come to congratulate General Murray on his birthday. I don't want trouble, so please step aside, Dustin said despite the shouts and threats. Congratulate him, HMPH. Do you even deserve it? Vivian sneered. She continued, who do you think you are? What makes you qualified to congratulate General Murray? If it weren't for Sheila, you think you'd be allowed in? To Vivian, Sheila's intervention was the only reason Dustin got inside. That's right. Take a good look around. Everyone who is here to congratulate General Murray is from high society. You're just an insurance agent. What gives you the right to be here with us? Evan scoffed. Despite his fighting skills, they viewed Dustin as a mere brute and didn't think he could cause a scene. Sheila remained silent, watching Dustin with a somewhat uncertain expression. Their relationship had already soured due to the incident the previous night. She harbored resentment toward him, especially since Jaden was still in the hospital. I suggest you not to judge a book by its cover, Dustin replied indifferently. I received an invitation to be here. My identity and qualifications are none of your concern. Invitation? Who's to say you didn't steal it? You, an outcast, could have done anything, Vivian sneered. Dustin, stop trying to show off. We know who you really are. You're not in a position to seek favor from General Murray, Evan said arrogantly. Can you both stop talking? Dustin grew impatient. I'm not close to either of you. What I do is none of your business. If you taunt me again, don't expect me to hold back. His icy stare pierced both of them. He had ignored these two clowns in the past because of Sheila. But now, after their fallout, he was no longer inclined to be lenient. You, how dare you? Vivian was momentarily stunned by Dustin's sudden assertiveness. In the past, he had always stayed quiet, seemingly unaffected by her taunts. She thought he was afraid to respond, but his recent words and fierce gaze showed otherwise. Thinking about Jaden, Vivian realized Dustin was not someone to mess with. Reese, don't get too arrogant. We're in the Murray residence. Do you really dare to cause trouble here? Evan warned sternly. That's right. I doubt you dare to act out here. Vivian quickly regained her confidence. She believed the Murray residence's security would prevent Dustin from causing any trouble. Oh, do you think your life is worth more than Jaden's? Dustin's face grew colder as he moved forward. He looked so intimidating, which made everyone take a step back. Stop. Suddenly, Sheila stepped in, her face filled with anger. Dustin, you've already hurt my cousin. Are you going to harm my friends too? I won't allow that. Sheila was surprised by Dustin's irrational behavior. She never imagined he would become violent over a minor disagreement. At first, she believed he was a good person, but his actions have left her bitter and skeptical. Ms. Murray, I'm joking. You have nothing to worry about. I'll not use violence unless provoked, he said calmly. Vivian retorted, HMPH. You're saying you're only joking? If Sheila hadn't intervened, things could have turned violent. Evan added, Dustin, knowing martial arts doesn't justify reckless behavior. The Murray residence is no place for such conduct. If someone doesn't annoy me, I don't resort to violence. But if they do, I might. That's my advice, and I'll give you a break now, Dustin said coldly. Sheila, this guy is out of control. You should consider kicking him out before he disrupts the celebration, Vivian suggested, hoping Sheila would agree. Vivian is right, Sheila. One troublemaker can ruin the celebration. Today, we're celebrating General Murray's birthday, and many distinguished guests are here. If this guy makes trouble, it'll hurt the Murray family's reputation. Evan added, Sheila, we need to think about what's best for everyone. Kicking this guy out is the right thing to do. The others agreed, trying to convince her. Dustin, you're not welcome here. I have to ask you to leave, Sheila said firmly. She agreed with her friends because she didn't want him to ruin the birthday celebration. You want me to go? Dustin was surprised. Then, he chuckled. Ms. Murray, your friends can say whatever they want, and I'm just like them, a guest. Is it fair to ask me to leave? He always considered Sheila as a sister. Even if she misunderstood him, he was not upset. He believed in mutual respect, even if they couldn't be close friends. But now, he realized he had been wrong. Sheila seemed determined to stand by her decision, even if it meant turning against him. Dustin had helped her many times before, but now she was asking him to leave. I didn't invite you, and you're not one of our guests. I have the right to ask you to leave, Sheila insisted stubbornly. Ms. Murray, you didn't invite me, but your grandfather did. If you want me to go, you should check with him, Dustin calmly replied. You. Sheila was irritated. She hadn't expected him to be so bold and wouldn't leave even when she told him to. And he even mentioned her grandfather to intimidate her. Ignore him, Sheila. He's probably making up stories about knowing General Murray, Vivian goaded her. Evan added, Sheila, stop wasting your time talking to him. Get someone to escort him out. Dustin, if you don't leave now, I'll have someone throw you out, Sheila warned angrily. Sheila, show some respect. At that point, Cornelius couldn't hold back any longer and snapped. Mr. Dustin has bailed you out many times. If you don't appreciate that, it's fine. But is this how the Murrays show their gratitude? By mistreating someone who has helped them? Sheila was speechless. Sheila, they're lying. Vivian was concerned about the situation. She continued, all this talk about saving you and repaying their kindness is nonsense. From the moment Dustin approached you, it was all part of his master plan to win your favor. Don't be fooled by him. Evan interjected, she's right, Sheila. He's a sly guy with hidden motives. You have to be careful. As she listened to them, Sheila's momentary guilt vanished. She realized that Dustin's actions were not out of genuine kindness. Instead, he had ulterior motives. She saw his true nature yesterday, and now she no longer felt any obligation or kindness toward him. Sheila took a deep breath and glanced at Dustin. Dustin, I don't want to see you anymore. Please leave. You. Just as Cornelius was about to say something, Dustin interrupted him. Dustin looked disappointed. Miss Murray, it seems you don't like me. Then, I'll leave now. Goodbye. With that, he turned and walked to the door. He noticed her determination to throw him out, so there was no reason to stay there anymore. He believed he had conveyed his warm wishes by attending Christopher's birthday celebration. Humph, he should have left earlier. What a pain in the ass. Vivian sneered. Someone, get word to Sir Edgar. As soon as Dustin leaves, detain him. Evan was determined to make Dustin feel the consequences of attacking Jaden. He knew he couldn't disrupt the celebration, but he didn't want Dustin to get away with what he had done. General Murray is here. As Dustin left, a shout rang out from the bustling crowd. In the banquet hall, Christopher entered with a group of people. With his tall, silver-haired appearance, he attracted attention. As he entered, a silent wave of reverence went through the room. Heads nodded, and hands instinctively rose in salute. "Greetings, General Murray." A collective chorus echoed through the room. High-ranking officials and prominent figures showed respect to the formidable general. Earlier, Vivian and the others had caused quite a commotion, but now they were silent. Only Sheila, unfazed by his authoritative presence, approached Christopher with a smile. She casually intertwined her arm with his. To her, he was simply a kind old man. "All of you don't have to be so formal. Please, take a seat inside," Christopher said with a smile. His charisma was undeniable, and he never once appeared authoritarian. Edgar, the next Murray family patriarch, regarded him with respect. Caden and the other Murray family members also behaved humbly in his presence. Everyone accepted Christopher's invitation and took their seats in the grand hall. Dustin was about to leave when Christopher's attention was drawn to him. "Hey, kid, where are you going?" Everyone in the hall looked at Dustin as he became the center of attention. "Dustin." Edgar's expression changed in an instant. "Is this punk looking for trouble?" Caden narrowed his eyes, his expression hostile. Diego, who was sitting with the other guests, couldn't help but smile mischievously. Well, this is getting interesting. After what had happened last night, he had expected Dustin to run away and hide. But Dustin's bold appearance at the Murray residence had caught him off guard. The kid's in trouble now. General Murray has his eye on him. He won't get away today. Evan chuckled maliciously. He brought it upon himself. He could have left earlier and avoided the whole mess. But no, he chose to stay and become a pain in the ass. He really wants to be in trouble. Vivian sneered, her face filled with gloating satisfaction. They believed Christopher had learned what had happened to Jaden and wanted revenge. "General Murray, please accept my well wishes. I've some other matters to take care of, so I'll take my leave," Dustin said. He bowed courteously and walked away. "Stop!" Evan suddenly lunged forward, blocking Dustin's path. He shouted, "Hey, punk! You think you can come and go as you please and treat the Murrays like they're nothing?" He shot Christopher a quick glance. This was his chance to put Dustin in his place and win Christopher's favor. Evan knew he couldn't pass up this opportunity. Thinking about it, Evan couldn't help but admire his cunning and ability to see through the situation. He believed he was playing it brilliantly. Evan's sudden appearance puzzled Christopher. He wondered, who is this kid, and what's he up to? "You asked me to leave earlier, and now you want me to stay. What's all this about?" Dustin asked impassively. "HMPH, spare us your excuses," Evan said menacingly. "You've offended General Murray and ruined everyone's mood. And now you're just going to run away? That's just a pipe dream." "That's right. You sneaked into the Murray residence with bad intentions. People like you need to be dealt with. Fortunately, General Murray sees through your true colors. Today, you'll not escape justice," Vivian declared, full of self-righteousness. While scolding Dustin, she tried to win Christopher's favor as well. She played her cards skillfully, raising and lowering her sights in this situation. "Hey, what's going on here?" Christopher frowned in annoyance at the two of them. He wondered, where did these two fools come from? And why can't they tell right from wrong? General Murray, when dealing with someone like him, there's no need for you to personally get involved. Let us handle it. I promise you, we'll take care of him thoroughly, Evan said confidently. He hadn't quite grasped the gravity of the situation. While trying to impress Christopher, "Yes, General Murray, today is your birthday. And this isn't the time to get angry. Let us handle this for you," Vivian added. She was desperate for Christopher's approval and to be acknowledged by him. "Guards, arrest this troublemaker who has committed several crimes. Interrogate him thoroughly." Evan proudly waved his hand in the direction of Christopher's guards. He acted as if he owned the place. Unbelievable! Christopher stood up abruptly, his anger flaring as he walked toward them. He slapped Evan and Vivian across the face and scolded them. "Have you both lost your minds? This person is a distinguished guest of the Murray family. Who gave you the courage to disrespect my guest?" Ouch! Evan and Vivian winced at the unexpected slap that caught them off guard. They held their burning cheeks, confused by the sudden turn of events. They couldn't understand Christopher's actions, especially since Dustin was the troublemaker. The Murray family and their guests were also baffled. No one had expected Christopher to slap someone out of anger on his special day. General Murray, Evan tried to argue. Did you confuse us with someone else? This punk is causing trouble and should be dealt with. Vivian added, yes, General Murray. He even assaulted Mr. Murray last night. He committed a crime and should be punished.